meant behind the blunt words. "Well, is she ready? Is she ready?" Mr. Furley called impatiently from the living room, his head popping back into view. "She's ready. She's ready. Get ready, everybody. Now the wedding's about to start," Jack shouted, taking his place beside Janet, ready to walk her down the makeshift aisle, a proud and loving stand-in for her absent father. As Mrs. Kinneal struck the first triumphant chords of the wedding march, the apartment door suddenly burst open. "Vicky, Jack, we've got to talk." Vicky stood there, breathless, her hair slightly disheveled, her eyes wide and urgent, a whirlwind of unexpected presence. The music screeched to a halt, Mrs. Kinneal's fingers freezing on the keys, the joyful melody abruptly cut short. A collective gasp rippled through the small gathering, every head turning towards the unexpected arrival. "I'm sorry, I didn't know," Vicky stammered, her gaze sweeping over the wedding party, the decorations, the stunned faces, a flush of embarrassment rising on her cheeks. "I'll be back." She turned to leave, her face crimson with mortification. "Vicky, we do have to talk." "Okay, just a second," Jack called out, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He couldn't let her go. Not now. Not like this. He turned to the organist, a desperate plea in his eyes. "Mrs. Connell, take 5. Come on." He rushed towards Vicky, pulling her into the kitchen, away from the bewildered guests, away from the prying eyes, into the relative privacy of the small, familiar space. Janet, still in her wedding gown, watched them go, a mixture of concern and a strange sense of hope on her face. Her own wedding, momentarily forgotten, took a back seat to the unfolding drama of her friends. In the kitchen, Vicky was already distraught, her composure shattered. "Oh my God! I walked in on Janet's wedding." She wrung her hands, her eyes filled with self-reproach, her face pale. It's all right. Jack tried to reassure her, his own emotions a tumultuous storm, a mixture of relief at her presence and anxiety about her distress. "Oh, no, I shouldn't have come here." She shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "Why did you?" Jack asked, his voice gentle but firm, needing to understand what had driven her back. "To find out why you're trying to get rid of me." Her voice cracked, tears finally spilling over, tracing paths down her cheeks. "Get rid of you?" Jack was genuinely bewildered, the accusation stinging him. How could she think that after all he felt for her? "Yes, I thought we meant something to each other." Her voice was laced with pain, with a sting of perceived rejection. "We do." He reached for her hand, his touch hesitant, wanting to offer comfort, to bridge the gap that had formed between them. "Well, then why do you want me to take that job in Houston?" She pulled her hand away, her voice filled with a raw, exposed wound. "I don't want to stand in your way. I know how much that job means to you," he explained, the words he'd believed to be selfless now sounding hollow, inadequate, twisted by her father's machinations. "Where did you hear that?" Her eyes narrowed, a sudden suspicion dawning, a flash of insight. "From your father." "Oh, I should have known." A bitter laugh escaped her, a sound of frustrated recognition. "Oh, Jack, that job means nothing to me, but you do." The words hit him like a revelation, shattering the carefully constructed edifice of his guilt. He had been so wrong, so terribly, devastatingly wrong. He hadn't been noble. He had been manipulated. He had almost lost her, not to his own actions, but to the insidious whispers of her father. "Oh, Vicky." He pulled her into his arms, holding her tight, a wave of relief, profound and overwhelming, washing over him. The warmth of her body against his was a balm to his aching soul. "So, tell me what, my dear, sweet father said." She mumbled into his chest, her voice muffled, but filled with a new resolve. "He told me," Jack began, but a voice from the living room interrupted him, pulling him back to the reality of the stalled wedding. "Harry, where's Jack? He's supposed to give me away." Janet's voice, impatient and a little strained, cut through their intimate moment, a reminder of her own impending "Yeah, he's in the kitchen with Vicky." Larry's voice trailed off, as if he couldn't quite grasp the situation, still trying to make sense of the dramatic interruption. "She's in the kitchen with Vicky," Philip repeated, confused, the unusual nature of the conversation unsettling him. "Yeah, but I don't think Jack is doing too well," Larry added, his voice full of concern, having witnessed Jack's emotional state earlier. "Larry, this has just gone far enough." Janet stormed into the kitchen, her white gown swirling around her, a formidable figure of bridal fury. She took one look at Jack and Vicky, still in each other's arms, then at the scattered flowers and the half-eaten appetizers. "Nobody sees me," she declared, her voice rising in exasperation, a mixture of genuine frustration and comedic timing. "Oh, no, that was low," Jack muttered, realizing Larry's earlier comment about her not being seen, a playful jab at his friend's insensitivity. "Oh, stop that! Listen, you!" Janet took charge, her bridal anxieties momentarily forgotten in favor of her friend's drama. She was a force of nature, her determination cutting through the tension. "Jack, I know that you are crazy about Vicky." Janet, wait. Jack tried to interject, feeling exposed, embarrassed by her bluntness. "And, Vicky, I know that you're crazy about Jack," Janet continued, ignoring him, her gaze piercing. "Oh, Janet, listen." Everything, Vicky began, trying to explain the complexities of their situation, their subtle manipulations, the misunderstandings. "No, you listen. Now, I want you to stop. Stop acting like a couple of silly kids, and I want you to make up, and I want you to do it right now." She folded her arms, an immovable force, her bridal authority absolute. Jack looked at Vicky, a sheepish smile on his face, a silent acknowledgement of their shared predicament. "Well, what do you think?" Vicky, her eyes still a little teary, returned his smile, a fragile hope blossoming in her heart. "I guess we better do what she says." "I think you're right." Jack leaned in, and they shared a tender kiss, a silent apology, and a renewed promise, a physical manifestation of their reconciliation. "Now, that's more like it." Janet beamed, a triumphant smile on her face, her mission accomplished. "Janet, what are you doing standing around? You're supposed to be getting married. Come on." She turned to go, then paused, looking at the two of them, a final, dramatic flourish. "Oh my God, nobody sees me now either," she wailed dramatically, before finally heading back to the living room, leaving Jack and Vicky to savor their newfound peace. The wedding ceremony, after the dramatic interlude, resumed with a renewed sense of warmth and intimacy. The small apartment, filled with friends, and the scent of flowers, felt less like a makeshift venue and more like a sacred space, imbued with the power of friendship and love. "Oh, my God, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony." The minister's voice, calm and resonant, filled the room, bringing a hush to the small gathering. "Who gives this woman to be wed to this man?" Jack stepped forward, a proud smile on his face, his heart swelling with affection for Janet. "Well, normally it would be Janet's father, but since he's not here," he paused, then looked at Janet, a silent understanding passing between them. "You just say, 'I do.'" "I do." Janet's voice was clear and strong, her eyes shining with happiness, her dream, however altered, finally coming true. The minister continued, his words profound and heartfelt, resonating deeply with the experiences of those present. "The success of a marriage is not just the responsibility of the husband and wife, but all those who love and are near to them. This marriage should not mean the end of old friendships. Rather than losing one another, you should feel more tightly bound than ever, sharing the joy and happiness." He looked at Philip, his gaze gentle. "Do you, Philip, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love, honor, and cherish, for richer or poorer, so long as you both shall live?" "I do." Philip's voice was firm, his gaze fixed on Janet, a man utterly devoted. "And do you, Janet, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love, honor,